Hi, and welcome back to my project, which is rebuilding this old Hitachi excavator for some reason. I'm not sure quite why, but in the last video I got the swing device rebuilt, and this one will go into a little bit deeper into the hydraulics and look at the center joint, also known as the swivel joint, as well as some other odds and ends. So let's get to it. Well, I'm going to start by removing and rebuilding the swivel joint, or the center joint it's also called. And the reason for that is I know for a fact this machine does not track straight. It was very hard to drive onto the trailer and off the trailer. Now, I'm aware several things could cause that. I mean, right here in front of my face is this broken track tensioner. But at the same time, I have, with the swing device out, I have pretty easy access to it. It's right back here. It looks like a pretty simple thing to rebuild. I already have the seal kit for it. It wasn't that expensive, so might as well just do it while I'm here. This is probably going to leak oil, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, got a catch can down here. Gonna run out of colors here. Jeez. I realize crescent wrenches aren't ideal, but these were made in the USA, so they don't strip metric fasteners. Oh wait, this one was made in China. Whoops. Good heavens. Swivel's locked up. This thing's frozen on here pretty good. Just go like that. Come on. Oh my gosh. That ain't budging. I mean, I could waste more time to try to get it off, but following this line, it's obviously an old one. It's got a cut on it. So I think at this point it just makes sense to chop it off. This is a sign though, I should probably buy another set of box wrenches so I could knock stuff like this off a little easier. Is this going to catch the hydraulic fluid on fire? Maybe let's just leave this on here for now. I already did a green one, so I'll do green and orange. If I was smart, I would have done this before I pulled the swing device. That's too bad. Use that breaking a window. Hit me in the jaw. I did order some more colored zip ties because this pack only had 6 colors. So I think I have 13 now. Okay, got a little more access in here now. Get the camera in at least. These 4 lines down here for the center joint, and then the pilot lines, there's 2 of them. But first, I think I should cover this up. There's a bunch of stuff that's just about to fall in. There's some stuff's already fallen in. It'd be nice to pressure wash in here too. So let's make a cover. By the way, it is like 10 o'clock at night, pitch black out here. And these lights are really putting off a good amount of light here for me. Pretty happy about them. Also happy that baby monitors exist, because my house is a long way that way and it still has reception. There we go. I started cutting all these notches out, but then I went and looked where it's actually mounting, and it's a raised circle area this diameter. So there's no point in cutting this stuff out. This is almost too thick for those crummy shears, but they got through it. All right, that's taking too long. Another 100-degree day today. I put grease on the area where there's not a bolt, just because this isn't the most rigid piece of metal. Could have used RTV, but then I'd be down here scraping even more once I was ready to put the swing device on. Okay, hopefully I cut this out okay. The sun was beating on this thing all day, so there's a lot of heat coming off all the steel. A handful of these are bottoming out, so I got some spacers here. Okay, well hopefully that keeps most of the water out. I think this one's already loose. Yeah. I do have a big drain pan under this thing to catch all this. I'm sure it's gonna be messy. Or not. A little awkward. Got it. Oh. Ah, dang it. Okay, I cannot get this swivel fitting broken off of this riser fitting here. You can see that. I got a crescent wrench on it, and then I'm trying to hit it with a pipe from over here. This is a really short hose anyways. It's gonna, you know, all these are gonna have to be replaced. I'm just gonna cut it. Try not to cut any of these wires. Let that drain out. I don't want to get hydraulic fluids shot everywhere. Well, it was 107 today. Sun's finally down past the hill. This thing holds on to its heat though. Okay, see what we got down here. Yeah, all right. Okay. Most of these hoses look okay, so I might not have to replace them. But I do need to start thinking seriously about how I'm gonna find a way to economically replace all these hoses. Because, like, I can't do anything up top until the lines get replaced. Pardon my shadows. A little hard to film under here, so I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. So I broke down and I bought two 36mm wrenches. I was using a 38, all I had was a single 38, but 36 is the correct size for all these big fittings that I'm having a hard time breaking free. I also ordered a 36mm crow's foot, which is not here yet, unfortunately, and I think that's going to be very helpful to get these things off. But I'm just sick of wasting time on it. It's time to get the right tools and do it right. There we go. That was so much easier. Yep. Got it. I'm not sure why I didn't buy the correct wrenches right away, but there you go. All right, well, according to the manual, this thing's only about 40 pounds, 45 pounds, so I should be able to drop it right in my face here without it hurting me too much. Was it 45 or 450 pounds? I don't remember. Of course, that's not coming off. There we go. All right. Why isn't it coming out? Oh, where's the drain pan? There we go. Oh my gosh, come on. This is gonna have to go back in for a sec. There's a rubber seal around it and these side fittings are just getting hung up on it. So I think I need to remove those on both sides. Yep, that's gonna come out. All right, here we go. I think it's gonna come out, right? Oh, there we go. That's heavy. And we're down. Yeah, it's that rubber thing that was causing the trouble. This was just draining out of here. Uh-oh, there goes that bolt. Attached to. Uh-oh. Yeah. What is this? Okay, this is all from ground squirrels. So they really ripped up the insulation on the hood. This is a big project. Ran out of gas, so I'm gonna borrow some from here. Gotta be careful about spraying this because this is like foam. Hopefully this stuff breaks it up. It ain't squeaky clean, but it's cleaner. I don't think that degreaser is doing the best job. But I can definitely see components now. I just don't see big gobs of grease. I think it's good enough for now. I also got the pump area a lot better. So it's pretty dang clean in here now. I mean, there was a lot of stuff still in here that I blew out. You can even see the engine through here, which you couldn't see before. So this will be a lot nicer to work on. I don't want this getting in the ground. So soak up as much as I can here. All right, pretty good improvement. Light on in here. There was a ton of crud like back in that corner. In fact, I can still see it over there, but I just can't get to it with the lines in there. And back in here, it's a bit cleaner. Also came in and hit in here. There was a bunch of spots I missed. Still looks really dirty, but it's way better than it was. Short of pulling the engine, there's really not a good way to get everything. But I removed about 20 pounds worth of dirt down here. Nope, there it goes. Ooh. I think this is just a dust seal. O-ring. Trying to be really careful here because I don't want to scratch anything. One more. All right. Okay, well the seals look pretty good actually. So I'm guessing the reason it's not tracking straight is probably going to be the tensioner as expected. I've gotten it somewhat clean, but to get it all the way clean, I'm going to go ahead and tag which color is where so I can remove these fittings and then clean it all the way. This is the one I had to cut, by the way. And this thing is crispy. By the way, this sits at the bottom. There was a lot of stuff down here. Okay, I cleaned up all these ceiling surfaces. This one up top, it's kind of got a problem. It's a little bit worn out. The other ones, I can't drag a fingernail on anything, so these should all be good. I think this is probably where the O-ring sits, and because that top dust seal was bad, perhaps water got in here and wore it down a little bit. Anyway, a new one of these is like $1,000, so I'm not going to replace it unless I have like a fountain of oil coming out when I put it back in. So just go ahead and clean it up as best I can, and then we'll see what happens. Just the way this works is there's a dust seal here and then the O-ring. I'm pretty sure the O-ring sits right there. I think the first step is to install the rings. I'm sure there's a trick to this. There's 6 of them. This is going to be hard to film, so maybe we should just skip ahead till when they're in. The hardest one was like the third one on this side because it's way further into reach in my big fat hands. But they're all in. Not sure why I would do this one before the O-ring, but that's what it says do. This is this O-ring. Should have cleaned this hammer better. Well, I got it on. It took a little bit of tapping and eventually worked itself in. It was really hard getting around that dust seal. It says install the nameplate facing the L mark, which there's an L right here. It even points to it in the directions. So I guess the nameplate goes over here. If you saw me rebuild the swing device, the bolts on the bottom, I think these are the same ones. They have this H with 3 marks, like they're a grade 5. So I'm just going to replace these with brand new 8/8s with new lock washers. This is blue, right? Yeah, B. Oh, all right, let's fix that. Ugh. So yeah, the spindles I think is pushed in too far. I think if I'm going to reuse the old bolts just to see if I can seat it by drawing it in and pushing this back out. And then the new bolts I might have to replace with some smaller ones. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, that worked. It's seated all the way now. There we go. It's coming out of, yeah, it's coming out of all of them. Ow. One mistake I know I made is I did not mark the orientation between the spindle and the body. And it has to be in a certain orientation to match up with the machine, how it's centered. I'm pretty sure I'm like at 180 off. I need to spin this all the way around because I think I had blue and blue on the same side. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to turn this around. It's really, really hard to turn. I can't turn it by hand. Got the correct length fastener now. So I can swap all these out. I'm going to borrow this from the swing device. All right. Okay, well, I'll let this dry for a while, and I guess I'm just gonna end the video here. Like I said, there was a huge mistake where I didn't mark the alignment of the spindle and the body, and that's probably gonna come back to bite me. I think what I can do though is I can bolt the body up to the undercarriage, and then there was that long bar that was bolted to these two bolt holes that kind of holds it in place. And I'm hoping I can, like, you know, hook onto that and then crank it and maybe align it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to take it back apart later on. But for now, this will just kind of go in my pile of good parts here. I was hoping in this video to get to the engine, but I just kind of ran out of time. So I'll do that in the next video. And, well, maybe I should turn the camera around so you can. So to be honest, I'm really not sure what to do after the engine. I should probably get into the valve block and, you know, clean all that stuff up. I really need to get serious about the hoses. I don't know if I should buy like a crimper or just farm everything out. I have a serious concern about the electrics because all the wiring is very suspect, and from what I've seen, it looks like all the wiring goes underneath the engine, which is kind of why I was pressure washing in that area. So it's like I almost need to pull the engine to get to the wiring, or do I just keep the wiring as is? And I don't know. I really don't know what to do yet. I just have to think about it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'm sure there's people out there that have done this before and know like the correct way to do stuff. But that's kind of the plan, is to get to the valve block, replace hoses, wiring, everything else, I don't know. After the next video, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next video.